Fake news was just caught red-handed trying to emotionally manipulate you in order to push more U.S. State Department geopolitical goals. In this video, we will talk about just the incredulous amount of propaganda, disinformation out there to fool you to obviously push a clear goal that you are not aware of. I have seen my friends on social media blast out information about Aleppo that has been totally incorrect, and this needs to be fixed, and I care about this, and that's why I'm making this video. This on the heels of ISIS just claiming responsibility for the Berlin attack that happened yesterday. There have been a string of terrorist attacks all over Europe and inside of Turkey yesterday in a coordinated attack by radical Islamic terrorists used to terrorize the West. Now, with this happening, the German police who thought they caught the suspect actually did not, and the suspect is still at large and still obviously at danger to the people of Germany. With this happening, the mainstream media was blaming the truck instead of radical Islamic terrorists. I mean, this is a modus operandi. This is what happened in Nice, France recently, and they do not call it like it is. With this happening, these ISIS members that, again, you have to understand, the United States funded, armed, trained radical Islamic terrorists, including ISIS, inside of Syria to get rid of Bashar al-Assad. And now we're seeing the consequences of that unfold right in front of us. And on top of that, we have another layer of pure outright propaganda used to manipulate us, as Egyptian police just arrested 5 people for using children in order to stage fake Aleppo footage. They took a girl who wasn't in Aleppo, she was in Egypt on a demolition site, put a white dress on her, fake blood, a teddy bear with fake blood, fake bandages. They put a paper bag over her head so no one would recognize that this was a fake stage photo op used to emotionally manipulate you so you could virtual signal online. And they were caught by undercover police officers who interviewed them, and they admitted, yeah, we were making fake photos and fake videos to say that this was in Aleppo. Again, pure outright disinformation. These people have been arrested, have been caught red-handed staging fake news. This is not the beginning. We have seen images from music videos being spread online on social media by mainstream media organizations, by politicians, by diplomats, like here in the United Nations. There was photos of the siege in Fallujah, Iraq, that were used to claim that this was Syria. All fake, all staged, and you have to be careful what the hell you share online. 2 years ago, there was a major video showing what was reportedly Syria, where a boy was trying to save a girl from sniper fire, used to vilify the Syrian government and Syrian military forces, saying that they're having a frickin' sniper trying to assassinate and murder a little child who's trying to save a little girl. This heartwarming video was put out there as real. The U.S. State Department tweeted out this video. Mainstream media ran headlines on this, used this as an emotional sway of the public to turn them against the Russians, to turn them against Bashar al-Assad. And guess what? Because of leaked information that we were able to catch, this was completely staged and fake. A major production company with ties to a NATO-backed government with NATO funding used state funding to film this propaganda piece that was used in order for grander geopolitical goals. And of course, it worked on you, the poor individuals, the poor people out there who didn't have all the information out there. And that's why we are here as real independent media calling out fake news. And you need to do that, because all the news reports that are coming from supposed journalists inside of Aleppo are coming from journalists with clear ties to rebel groups, clear ties to ISIS and al-Nusra. Any journalist, any real journalist who's willing to call out the rebel groups for their atrocities, like firebombing humanitarian evacuee buses recently in Aleppo, preventing the evacuations of civilians, holding civilians hostage, shooting at civilians like the rebel groups have been doing. If journalists report on that inside of Aleppo, they get assassinated, they get murdered, they get kidnapped, they get used and extorted for ransom in order to finance the rebel group's information. So you have to understand, any journalistic group claiming that they're independent, working inside of Aleppo, on the rebel side, is obviously clearly biased, clearly pushing on the objective, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be there, and they wouldn't be used as a tool for propaganda. For the United States to use these people as credible sources is just outright bullcrap. They even said They ran with a UN report saying that 82 civilians were murdered by Syrian government forces. That has not been collaborated. That was a rumor. That was information coming from biased sources that have not been confirmed, and the United States has not, UN has not confirmed that, and it's being called utterly fake news. As this is happening, the U.S. media, surprise, 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 is silent on the Syrian government, just presenting evidence of how U.S.-backed rebels were using chemical weapons and mustard gas on civilians. If you remember at the beginning of the Syrian civil war, quote, that this was the major talking point for Barack Obama in order to justify a bombing campaign of Bashar al-Assad and the Syrian government, just like they did in Libya to get rid of Muammar Gaddafi. The United States was preparing for a full all-out war with the Syrian government until the Russians sent in their warships and said that they would not allow this and they would block Russian military aircraft if they dared to do this. But this was the major talking point, and now the Syrian government presented evidence that it wasn't the Syrian government that used chemical weapons, but it was actually the rebel groups that the United States financed. You know, the same rebel groups who are running all around Europe, committing terrorist attacks? Yeah, those guys. Those are the guys that your taxes have financed. This is truth that needs to be spread out there to the American public. Share this video with all your friends and family members, because we are getting hit on all sides with YouTube algorithms, Facebook algorithms screwing us. YouTube just took away my income for this entire week, questioning all my latest videos up for a review for monetization for no apparent reason, no explanation, no notification. The years of independent media surviving on its own just through ad revenue are completely over. We have a team of journalists, we have a team of editors providing you fact-checking information in order to keep you informed, in order to keep you knowledgeable, because knowledge is freaking power, and there is a war on us exposing these greater truths, and the only way to stop it is to vote with your dollar, and you can do that by going to WeAreChange.org/donate and helping real, unfiltered, independent media, giving you the news that's denied to you because they are afraid of you knowing the truth about exactly what's happening in this world, because it would stop their outright hypocrisy, lies, and bullcrap hooey that they're pushing on you. Thank you again so much for watching. Subscribe.